Hi, my name is Sydney Hansen, and my show project is on Don't Trust to Be in Apartment 23. This is just a short clip of the intro to kind of give you the feel of the show almost.
I'm not perfect and I'm no snitch, but I can tell you she's a
And yeah, that's it. I figure include that because you can kind of see just from those short, 12 seconds, that production value isn't really that high. It's pretty low, honestly, but it's kind of got a nice charm to it. Okay, overview for the show. History is it was originally developed in 2009 for Fox. It had the uncensored title "Don't Trust the Bitch" in Apartment 23. It was ultimately rejected, but picked up in 2002 or 2012. Sorry, with ABC. They changed it from Bitch to B, and it was a mid-season replacement for another show that was canceled. They got about 2 seasons. In the middle of season 2, it was also canceled, so they stopped running it on ABC, so you had to finish watching it online, so they streamed it on Netflix, and then later it was picked up on Logo all 2 seasons. It's been nominated for 6 awards, which I found surprising, because it really doesn't seem like the kind of show that would get picked up for awards. More info. The genre is comedy. Its IMDb rating is 7.2 out of 10, which I also found really surprising. It's a series instead of a serial because each episode is a standalone story with little connection between, each in the season. Nothing really. You could pick it up in the middle of the season and understand it completely, perfectly, without having to worry about, what happened in the past episodes. It really doesn't matter what happened in the past episodes because anything that happened is never brought up again. Really. There's really, like I mentioned, there's not a high budget or production value in it at all. It's charming though. The main characters up here at the top. Oops, my bad. Up here at the top is June. She's from Indiana. She moved to New York for a dream job at a mortgage firm that ultimately closed the day she arrived because of illegal operations. She ends up getting a roommate. She's the girl at the bottom, Chloe. When she arrives, Chloe is trying to con her out of her money, so you kind of get a feel for their individual personalities the very first episode. She cons Chloe back. So, since her dream job was closed, she gets a job as a barista to pay for rent while she looks for a new job. She's very optimistic and hardworking and friendly. You see that a lot throughout the episodes. Chloe, on the other hand, the infamous bitch in Apartment 23, she doesn't have a job. She supports herself by scamming people and playing with people. Like I said, she tried to scam June, but it didn't work because June is pretty smart. Chloe is also cunning and rude. You see a lot of that in the show. Other characters notable are James Van Der Beek, who plays himself, just like a parody of himself, a lot more arrogant and self-centered. He's Chloe's best friend in the show. He is how she gets a lot of money because she doesn't have a job. So she kind of mooches off of him, but he really supports her. Surprisingly, even though he's really selfish, he is really invested in Chloe and June and their friendship, and he wants them to succeed. Mark down there at the bottom is Chloe's coworker. He has a crush on her, and at the end you can kind of see hints that June is also crushing on him. He is really smart and opportunistic and like a born leader, but he's also kind of shy and meek. And he definitely deserved a better storyline than what they gave him. Okay, the setting, general story, target audience, blah blah blah. Takes place in New York City. I think I mentioned that. The official synopsis is June Colburn, as she moves from Indiana to New York to pursue her dream job, she finds out it no longer exists. She ends up moving in with a bon vivant party girl named Chloe. Chloe keeps her apartment by inviting roommates to move in, asking for rent up front, and then behaving outrageously until they leave. Like I said, Chloe tried to con June out of her money. June wasn't having it. June proves more difficult to dislodge than expected. June reverses Chloe's latest attempt to eject her in an unexpected fashion, and they end up forming an unlikely friendship. The target audience is young adults, particularly young women. My analysis, practical is June's quest to find a new job and adjust to a hectic life in New York, while also trying to get over the heartbreak caused by being cheated on by her fiancé. I feel like many young people can relate to June's situation. Maybe not like every detail, but like being anxious over huge student loan debt and the inability to find a paying job that you got from your degree. It's not really mentioned much in the show, but in a few episodes she mentions it, and she seems rather stressed out about it. Her parents paid for her thing, and she's trying to prove to them that she's not a failure. So I feel like that, especially like college years, just after college, a lot of people can relate to that. I feel like maybe even also people may relate to Chloe's storyline. She has an inability to get close to new people because of her dysfunctional family life. Like she has a really bad relationship with her mother, which I feel like a lot of people can relate to. I can relate to that. So, she tries to make herself feel better with money and partying, kind of a universal almost theme, trying to make yourself feel better. My critical analysis, the mise-en-scene in this show is probably one of the better parts, I think. It's got like a multiple camera setup because it's a 4-wall apartment set. There is no studio audience, so it's a closed set. You can kind of see the setup of the apartment. It really does kind of look like a young adult apartment. What you'd expect to find with their varying personalities. You kind of, the first picture you see laundry, coffee cups, the bookshelf on the back is not the most organized. It kind of reflects their individual personalities. And the second picture you can see in the kitchen, it's not exactly like dirty, but it's like charmingly cluttered, right? It reflects their personalities. Because of the multiple cameras, there are lots of jump cuts, and it's, the low production value is evident in the casting and the setting. Not a lot of it is done on location in New York, but some of it is. Most of it is in this apartment. My personal opinion. Well, I enjoyed binge watching the show. I did. I watched it both seasons in about a week. I did find it incredibly lacking in actual story and character development. I still enjoyed it a lot, but I went into the show interested in seeing how June coped with losing her dream job and having to survive in New York. The show pretty much glossed over all of it. There was not a lot of going into her emotions, which I guess for a comedy, you're not really expecting that. And so for what it is, a comedy show targeted for young women, it was really good for what it was. So I definitely suggest anybody who is interested in, that kind of story, a comedy, two girls trying to find their way, definitely go check it out. It was definitely worth watching. Thank you.